Hello friends, Lionheart here, and it is day 2 of Gwent's reveal season, and monsters are out. My own personal reveal is included in this. Thank you so much, team at CD Projekt, and the Gwent team specifically, for giving me a reveal. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be involved in these kind of campaigns. Honestly, I love it. It's one of my favourite times in Gwent, as you know. My NR video is linked at the end of this, and there's a whole playlist, one for each faction. They will reveal every day once everything has been leaked by the respective leakers. Before we jump in and look at the monster cards, I will give you the same caveat I give every single time. Consider these cards are in a vacuum right now. When you see them, you are thinking hypothetically about the perfect plays, the cards you think about, the changes that you know are coming, or you think are coming, in the patches, right? It's really hard to guess. With that being said, enjoy it, have fun. This is one of the best times in Gwent, and we only have one more set of cards coming into the game after this, so really embrace it. I will also point out that I'm going to reveal a balance change that is definitely coming in the upcoming expansion, but I kind of have to do that because otherwise you're going to really over-evaluate a certain card. So, with no further ado, it is time. And we begin. This was from the lovely Moshcraft. I'm going to link his reveal video in the description. It's hilarious. Go check it out. Absolutely love it. Now, initially you're going to look at this and you're going to go, oh my god, we're supporting Arachas Swarm. It is organics, it is insectoids. But on its own, you're going, oh, okay, so it's a 4/4 with armor. Kikimore Hatchling, insectoid, order. Remove one boost from self, then spawn a drone on this row. Okay, so it's a spawning engine, and it's got a cooldown of 1, so whenever you play an organic card, it'll reboost itself. So I can keep clicking that order, keep removing those boosts. It's not Thrive, it's all about organic tutors. Now, on its own, there's not too much for me to tell you about this card. You're thinking, well, okay, but it's all about the pieces of the puzzle, my friends. All about the pieces of the puzzle. I'm going to reveal each of the cards. We're then going to talk about them in combination and the way that they go together, and I'll reveal the balance change that's coming right now because my card, the Kikimore Stalker. Now, this card is insanely good when you see everything, I think. And the astute among you will be looking at this and going, okay, Kikimore Stalker. Base power 3, provisions 5. It has Veil, so it can't be locked. It also has Zeal, Order. But what is that? Predator. I'll get to Predator in a second. But the Order ability to proc, the Order ability is damage an enemy unit by 1 or consume an allied drone, and you have a charge of 1. Whenever you spawn 1 or more insectoids, you will also gain a charge. Amazing. So it says 1 or more because each action that would spawn creates a charge. So let's say I play an organic card with Arachas Swarm. It's going to spawn 1. As a result, I will gain a charge. Use an individual leader charge, gain a charge. But sometimes you will play cards that will spawn multiple, like Spontaneous Evolution, for instance, one of my former card reveals. That will give you 1 charge because that card spawned all of them. So you might look at this card and think, okay, wait. So each time I click and each time I spawn a unit, I can consume a unit. Doesn't Ida and this create an infinite problem where, because Ida will spawn something every time, it will just spawn, consume, spawn, consume, spawn, consume, spawn. No, Ida will be getting a rework of some description to go along with this card. So far, we have 2 Kikimore bronze units, and they're all about swarm insectoids. Makes a lot of sense. And I hear you thinking, okay, these are okay. They're fine. But remember that vacuum I was talking about? Oh, I love it. This card is so good. Acid Spit. It is an organic special card. Oh my, I've always wanted a statusy kind of effect. Acid-based for monsters. I didn't want it to be just a copy or clone of poison, and giving them poison felt weird. This is incredible. Infuse an enemy unit with, if this unit has more than 1 power, Whenever your opponent spawns one or more units, damage self by 1. When own power reaches 1, infuse this ability to adjacent units that don't have it. It spreads, my friends. The acid spreads. And as it's an organic card, when you apply this, it will also instantly damage that card by 1, because of course, organic cards in the Arachas Swarm leader ability spawn as well. And the ability for this will conclude before your leader ability checks and plays it. So, you hit a 2-power unit with this, it will instantly proc and then spread. Oh my. Isn't that pretty interesting? All of a sudden, you'll want to spawn a little bit more. Well, we have plenty of different ways to spawn coming in all of a sudden. Spawning drones, eating drones, creating charge. And you're going, well, okay, that's actually some really, really interesting synergy. If these are this good, what is the legendary? And the last card. Oh my. It's the Hive Mind. Revealed by the legendary Shinmiri, this organic card has Kiki Queen hiding in the background. And we'll touch over whether I actually think she fits into the archetype or not in a minute. But it reads as follows. Choose 4 different bronze Kikimore units. Now, Kikimore is not a new tag. It's the ones with Kikimore in the name. There are only 4, and these do not have to be in your starting deck. They are just pick 4, which means you're picking 1 of each. The 2 new cards that we've just seen, they probably will be in the starting deck, of course, but don't have to be. You're going to be choosing the order in which those cards appear, because while this card is in your graveyard, the first time you spawn a drone on the battlefield each allied turn, transform that drone into the next chosen Kikimore unit. So you're going to choose the units, all 4 of them, you're going to pick which order you want them, and they will start becoming this. Again, you might be looking at this going, well, that's So this is 0 tempo. Again, it's an organic card. So the first one you play will automatically spawn a drone, and provided you haven't used your leader charge before this, it will also proc the first part of this. Think of this as almost like a graveyard scenario, effectively. Downside to this, it hurts with your graveyard punish, your squirrels, your Xaviers, things like that. There is a lot of synergy here. There is so much synergy here. And it's just hit me that in my excitement to show you the other 2 cards, I completely forgot to show you or tell you what a predator is. So, new keyword, predator. And you can probably work it out, but it means that the order ability will work only if you are targeting a unit that has less power than you. So you cannot damage a stronger enemy unit than you, because that doesn't make sense. The predator. A really, really nice little bit of synergy. This, of course, will continue to grow, but that damage onto units that perhaps have been targeted with Acid Spit is fantastic. Your ability to constantly spawn and create new cards feels amazing. And the synergy between Hive Mind, Acid Spit, and the 2 new Kikimore cards, oh, it's just delightful. It really, really is. Now, as I mentioned, Ida is getting a change, so there is no infinite bug or infinite play, I suppose you would argue, with this card. It's not going to work. I am really excited to see how this works, and there's going to be so many 1-power units on the board. One of the things that I saw a couple of people mention initially was, why does this not kill? This gets them down to 1 power, spreads, but they're still on the board. Why does this not kill? Well, it might have been a while. But those who've played organics before, back when they used to be good, will remember a creepy little thing called Glusty Warp. Now, the synergy with the older cards and the newer cards, I'm sure there are other reworks or buffs and changes coming, but the amount of ones you want with Glusty is absolutely amazing. The fact that now your Arachas Swarm deck can't end up overboard swarming effectively because of the tokens, because this will help rectify that, is amazing. It's something that's been needed in those archetypes for a long time. I really hope we see this for Symbiosis at some point. A way to take those pesky little tree ants and merge them together or do something with them so that Symbiosis doesn't feel so awkward when it overswarms. The fact that we have that for this now. I'm really sad that the current version of Kikimore Queen, one of my all-time favourite Gwent cards, doesn't really fit in this. These are Kikimore cards, but the Kikimore Queen is a Thrive engine that admittedly wanted row-swarmed insectoids, but I'm not sure we thrive enough, consistently enough, to really make that worth doing. So I'm trying to think, how would I build this kind of deck? You're probably going for Wide Swarm, you're going for those boosts towards the end. Maybe you're looking at Yennefer Vengerberg, maybe you're looking at Bone Talismans. Things like that are definitely an option. You could take Lacerates as well. That's a potential option for you, the Lacerates. Maybe you're going for... There's lots of different ways you could go at this. I think... You know what? I know the deck I'm going to build. And on patch day, live on twitch.tv/Lionheart, I've got a deck for every faction. Just for you. Well, not just for you, for all of you, but if it makes you feel more special. I hope you've enjoyed the Monsters one. What do you think of these cards? Personally, I adore them. I think the synergy and the design of them all it's so good. It's so flavorful. It feels really good to have the organic archetype fleshed out again a little bit. It's the one in Monsters that I've missed. It's the one that hasn't really had much of a chance recently, and I really think these could bring it to be at least playable, if not very, very good in some situations. Will it survive on the ladder? Will it fall to pieces to a squirrel? Well, I guess we find out in the next couple of weeks. Let me know your thoughts on each of the cards down below in the comments. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me. As always, it has been my pleasure to have you here. Are you ready for the reveals tomorrow? It's Skellige! Oh, and I'm so hyped for the Skellige reveals. I can't wait to talk to you about those. My friends, thank you for being here. Pleasure as always. I'll see you tomorrow.